Hey there everyone, welcome to the my gaming review of Contra Return on Android phone and iOS, aka the iPhone. And this is my first review on a game that is not on PC or nor console, but rather on the phone. Now, this is one of those games that the only game that's good looking in terms of graphics and everything else. But I will discuss to you my thoughts about this game and everything else. But keep that in mind, this is my very first gaming review on an Android phone and iOS iPhone, aka, but which I don't fuck with anymore. So that's just out of the picture for you right there. So let's start this off with the review right here about this Contra Return. Now, I am the biggest fan of Contra game. I had played Contra ever since when I was a little boy. My first Contra game was actually Contra 3 on an SNES. And let me tell you something. That game is solid. It was the best Contra game I've ever made. But there's not only Contra 3 that's the best, but Contra Hard Corps was also my favorite Contra game on Sega Genesis. Even though I have never played it in my childhood, even though I don't remember playing it way back in the day, I played it years ago on a Sega Genesis emulator, and I am very impressed with it. And I like this a little bit more than 3, even though 3 is on top of my list of my favorite Contra game. So, yeah. And Contra Status Soldier, which came out on PlayStation 2 in 2002. I remember playing that game. I remember this is the hardest Contra game that I ever played in my life. But we're going to discuss about my history with the Contra game for another topic. I have a very long history of Contra. But let's get discussing about the return of Contra on an Android phone. Now, let's start with the pros of this game. The game has very nice graphic to it, even though despite it's kind of a bit cartoony, but the graphic in the graphic department is actually pretty decent. It's pretty decent for an Android phone, to say the least. And it's very detailed and everything else. But anyway, I'm not really more of a graphic person. I'm more of the gameplay type of person. So I'm not going to get into the graphic part, but you know what I'm going to say about it. I can tell if it either look like shit or it look good. So I'm going to say about it. If someone would ask me if the graphics are good or bad, I'd say it's just good. I just don't care about the whole graphic department thing. That's not my thing. But another pro about this game is that there's also some cool sections in the game, like you get to ride a mech on there, a big old robot mech, and this is actually, if I count this as a Contra game, this is actually the first Contra game to ride a giant mech, and you can be able to upgrade your mech onto the game menu to make your mech more efficient when you're in a mech session in some level of the game. So yeah, I have never played, and I don't remember playing any Contra game where you are riding a giant mech, but all the most of the Contra games that I played so far, you either ride a motorcycle, or you're on top of a helicopter riding, or you're riding the rockets, or you're doing some crazy shit that your typical Contra game does. So that's one of those things. Also, the old school vibe of you can feel the old school vibe from this game right there as you play it. You can feel like you're moving around more like the old Contra game, like the good old Contra game that you're very used to, and all the Contra fans like myself is very used to and very accustomed to. And that's what I like. It's very has that old school vibe in there, as you can see from the screen. Like it feels fluid. And I have no problem with the controls whatsoever. Keep that in mind, I play on the PS3 controller with the OTG connector on it to plug in my PS3 controller onto my phone with a controller. So that's what I did. Also, there's all these power-ups. All the power-ups from every Contra game has returned to Contra Return. So you're not going to miss a single power-up from most of the older Contra games, which is all on there. And that's a good thing. And at least they brought back all the iconic weapon power-up from older Contra games. And that's a good thing. At least they done that. But let's get to the con here. I have a lot of con about this game, and this is why I kind of made this review for a reason, as mostly is a con for this game right here. So hopefully this is not going to disappoint some of you people out there that want to play this game. But you're not going to really like this Contra game. But I'm going to tell you why. Fucking microtransaction. Now, this microtransaction shit is nothing new. It's nothing new to everybody. It's already been in every Android game, every iPhone games, even on console games and PC games. Depends on what you play. And every free-to-play game you play. So, now you got AAA games doing this shit. And it's very sickening, this kind of practice. And I don't understand how anybody could just accept this shit. I don't understand that. It's like whatever's happened to the older days where you unlock shit. You just unlock shit based on your reward you do. And all the goals you're trying to, like if you beat the game, you unlock this certain item or unlock like all the stages that you beat the game through. What happened to those days? What happened to all those days? I don't get it. And when you used up all your this right thing, instead of playing the whole level, like when you're writing thing, when you use all your shit, you're not gonna play the actual level. So when you run out that shit, that right thing or whatever this thing is, to try and get reward parts for your upgraded weapon, then you can't be able to play it until you get more of those little firepower requirement, whatever this bullshit is. So that's what kind of drove me away from that game immediately. Now, here's another thing about this game. Another thing that is give me cons about this game. There's too many plots in this game. Really, when the last Contra game you play that has heavily plot, that always seems to stop at the middle of the gameplay when you're trying to play the game? Think of it as Mega Man S5. When you play the game, in the middle of the game, you get stopped and unannounced when someone trying to tell you, hey, there's a hole right there, you might want to watch out, press this button to jump on this R control to avoid falling to your death. Wouldn't that piss you off kinda? And when you're trying to play the game? I mean, seriously. Or, let's say if you play Doom. If you would play Doom right now and you're walking, someone interrupts you and telling you, oh, see the shotgun over there? Go get the shotgun. It's very powerful in close range. Long range, it takes a while to kill. So, shotgun's better. Get that. Now, would you be pissed off about that? Because a shotgun, pretty much... So would you be pissed off about that when you stop in the middle of the game, when you're trying to be a badass and trying to show your superiority and your everything? I mean, come on, man. We don't need that shit. But in Contra game, but apparently in the freaking Contra game, you need plots and everything else in order to be, to add some content in the game. I mean, it's fine you have a little bit of plot in there that has little to no story in there. It's fine. Contra was never really a plot. It never really has plot to it whatsoever. It has little to no story in it. All you're doing is just shoot shit up everything around you. And That's about it. You don't have any stories involved. So why are they wasting their time adding all these plots that really nobody cares about? So if I want some heavily driven story, I just go play like Last of Us or Uncharted or something. If I want really a heavy driven story, I don't want to play some action game like Contra or Metal Slug where it's story driven and it's not like shoot 'em up game where you just shoot fucking everything and that's going to interrupt you. Okay? That's all I want to play. Now, reloading. This fucking reloading shit there. Let me tell you something about the reloading. What kind of fucking Contra game has reloading of all things? Seriously. Can you name me one Contra game besides Contra Return that has a fucking reloading system? Seriously. Can you name me any Contra game? Point me out a Contra game besides Contra Return that has a reloading system. Seriously. Why do we need reloading a Contra game? Why? Just fucking why? I don't get it. I don't get this system, but this reloading system. It really throws me off. Like what the fuck? I don't need a reloading system on a fucking Contra game. I don't need that shit. I just need to shoot shit. That's it. I don't need to reload in the middle of a gunfight. So that's how you get fucking killed by millions of fucking guys coming after you and shooting your ass. So now imagine you were playing the original Contra game and then when you're shooting the machine gun, all of a sudden, you gotta reload your gun. And then there's millions of fucking guys trying to shoot at you. And when you try to shoot at them, it reloads and then you get shot and lose one life. Now, would that be fair right there? I mean, I know Contra's supposed to be a challenging game, but for fuck's sake, why do we need reload in the fucking game? Why? Why in Contra game? We don't need that shit. Now, limited power-up. Basically, let's say you grab a spread gun and you use a spread gun, it doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever throughout the level. It lasts for you until you die or until you finish the stage. The power-up on there. Now, instead of like the original traditional Contra game, once you grab the power-up is all be with you the whole time in the level until you die or until when you finish the stage. I don't know if it comes with you when you're going to the next stage. I believe so. But now, when you grab a power-up, when you use all that power-up, the spread gun, it's just going to be not going to last you a long time when you use it all, which fucking sucks. Because I feel limited to this kind of power up. Like you can't even use a laser or a spread gun or a flamethrower without the number on the corner of the screen tell you that you got this amount of ammo, so you better use all your power up while you still can, cause you ain't gonna have that shit for so long. Yeah. What kind of fucking Contra game does that shit? Seriously, why? Then you got this unnecessary RPG element. Seriously, why do we need to put RPG element in the Contra game? Really? I don't think we need any RPG element in Contra game. Like, why? Why do we need that? We don't need that in Contra game. Just give me a gun and let me shoot shit. I don't need some numbers or anything that tells me how many damage I'm doing to the boss to tell me that, hey, I'm doing this number amount of damage to this boss on the enemy, so look at the screen of it, look at the numbers. I don't need that in a Contra game, seriously. Just give me a gun and let me shoot shit. That's all I want to do. I just want to have fun and just shoot shit all around the stage side-scrolling. That's what we do. I just don't understand that. It's just unnecessary to add in the game. It just doesn't add anything to the game, really. And I'm just being honest. It just doesn't add anything to the game. If you want my honest opinion. Also, lastly, this is possibly the easiest Contra game I have probably ever played out of all Contra games I have played so far. Now, is it a bad Contra game? Absolutely not. It's not a bad Contra game. There are worse Contra games out there that I've played before. And let me tell you something. If you think this is bad, try Contra Legacy on a PlayStation 1 and see how bad that shit is. Tell me. Come back to me and tell me that Contra Legacy isn't a bad Contra game. Please, for the love of God. Because if Contra Legacy ain't no bad Contra game on PS1, I don't know what to tell you, pal. That is the worst Contra game I've ever played so far. But is it Contra Return a bad game? Absolutely not. It has potential. It really does. But the cons that I've been discussing about could have been avoided. It would have been a good Contra game, really. It would have been a very good Contra game if it wasn't port to mobile phones. And I mean, then again, Konami been going to shit recently with their IPs, and they don't know what the fuck they do to their IP. So Konami pretty much fucked at that point. So Contra pretty much got butchered pretty bad in the Chinese market, so badly that it sucks, really. It sucks when your favorite games got butchered so bad by the mobile gaming industry, which sucks. And I wish this game would have been ported onto like a console, or like something like Nintendo Switch, or maybe to Steam. And without all the microtransactions and without all the bullshit that they added in the game, I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with it if it weren't for all the unnecessary bullshit in the game. With all the limited power-up, the limited, you play the level, limited of like the weapon upgrade and stuff like that. And weapon upgrade is nice and all. I forgot to discuss about that, the weapon upgrade. Weapon upgrade is nice and all, but I feel that it's just another cash in, something like that. It feels like I'm playing another fucking game, not Contra anymore. It's just not a Contra game I remember. I don't remember Contra game where you have assault rifle, sniper rifle, machine guns, your typical FPS weapon that you see in every modern first-person shooter. So I can tell you right now, this is not a Contra game, really. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a nice game. It's a very nice Contra game, but it doesn't feel like a Contra game to me. And I think if they would remove everything from this game, everything from this microtransaction shit, and all the weapon upgrade, the limited power-ups, and the amount of time you play in the level and everything else, and all the garbage that they put in the game, if it wasn't Android phone, I would probably have been fine with this. It would probably be one of the best Contra game I've played so far, and it got so much potential. But the potential right there has just been unfortunately been ruined by the mobile gaming market, the microtransaction, the limited power up, and not to mention the plot that pretty much just, why would we need a plot in a Contra game? Seriously. I mean, why? But anyway, this has been my Contra review right there. I hope you enjoyed the review. And if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe or like. I don't care. I don't really care. If you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool with me too. So it's been my my first review of an Android game. So have a good day and night, folks, and I'll see y'all around.